Is Michael Porter Jr. just out for COVID?
Yeah, that's working
His
out.
spine is broken.
No, ever
MP
since he dropped veganism, he's been a really good player.
MPJ is one hard hit away from being FDR.
Oh my
Welcome back to the 4-Point Shot, a podcast made by the most insane fantasy basketball league to share our fantasy knowledge and experience with the world. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribers get an extra injury slot. Today we have myself, Patrick of the Frankfurt Fireballers, as well as Josh of the Bluegrass Bulldogs, Matt zero-time champ of the Kentucky Hazard, and Chase of the Waiver Ravers Asterisk, here to talk the second week of the season, Devin Booker's performance, trade talk, and more. What a week. We saw John Wall back to superstar level, Jokic being absolutely dominant, and even Julius Randle doing his best Jokic impersonation, putting up triple-doubles. Chase, you're just as sick as Steph Curry is playing out there.
Jesus, I don't want that on there. Anyway, yeah, I was about to say you forgot Steph Curry popping off for 62. He's looking real good. And right after Dame said that it's not like before, but I don't know. These past 2 games have really shown that it actually may be. He's currently ranked, I think, number 3 overall for total, and I think his average is number 6. So he's killing it.
So what changed? I mean, first week he was like
Draymond. He got. I mean, Draymond can run that offense, and besides that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that first week they looked god awful. So I think it's good to have Draymond back and have another leader on the team to, tell Wiggins and Oubre and Wiseman what to actually do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Steph might have just gotten used to more terrible looks and seeing terrible looks all game long, and he's just used to it now after a couple weeks and starting to make more of them.
We also have to remember that Steph was out for most of last season, so it maybe just was a little bit of getting used to being back on the court. And now he's found his range again, and maybe we'll see more of this. Maybe he'll average over 30 points a game.
I mean, I think he's the league's leading scorer right now, and I swear he hasn't played the fourth quarter like half the games. Yeah, either because they're blowing out the other team or because they're being blown out, like those first few games.
So Steph is top 3 in total points, and who also is top 3 in total points last season is Jayson Tatum. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of making fun of Nick when he made that pick, but he was really confident in it.
I mean, I don't know. I think in the long term, he's going to drop down to the end of the maybe like 9 or 10, or maybe even to like the early teens. I mean, we don't have Kemba back. You have Teague questionable. You got a lot of little injuries on that team. I think his usage is a bit higher than it's really going to be the rest of the season. Not saying he hasn't been playing amazing, because he has.
He hasn't even been the best player on his team, though. Jaylen Brown's playing even better.
Yeah, that was a better pick, 3rd round Jaylen Brown. I thought that was a bit early, but he's been going off.
Yeah, no Boston Celtic really stands out to me as someone that you'd think would be in the top 10 just because they play so much as a team and they spread everything around. But Tatum and Brown are definitely disproving that theory.
Yeah, Brown is actually number 6 on total fantasy points. So that's 2 of the top 6 being Celtics. Yeah. But that leads us into talking about these top players. Among the top 25 players, who do you think is a fraud? Who doesn't belong there?
Julius Randle.
I knew you were going to say that. We're talking top 25 total points, right? Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about total.
Total's not average. Yeah, what is he? He's like almost he's
number
10.
He's number 9.
Yeah, you can't keep that going. I don't believe it.
On 38 minutes a game right now.
Yeah, that's an insane amount of minutes. There's no way.
I think it might be the most in the league. Let me sort it by that real quick.
It's Thibodeau. I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah, it's RJ Barrett and Randall, 38 minutes apiece.
They got a lot of people sit. His minutes are going to go down by a few. I mean, they got Obi Toppin sitting. They have quickly sitting. Some minutes are gonna be eaten up by a few other players.
Are you saying he doesn't belong in the top 25 at the end of the season at all?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be top 25 by the end of the season. I don't even think Anthony Davis is top 25 right now. I think once he gets going, definitely better than Julius Randle.
Randle was 32 last year. And I mean, that was with a slow first half. He kind of underperformed, but second half, he was consistent. He looked like this. I mean, not quite, but he looked pretty close to this. I think I disagree with that call. I think he's going to be probably top 20.
Yeah, I mean, you also thought that Curry was going to be trash, so I don't know how much. I'm just anyway, no, that's reasonable. It's reasonable.
Even though he's my player and I hope he stays at number 9, I would tend to agree that he wouldn't. Like at the beginning of the season, I would have said no way he's top 25. But based on what he's done so far, I do think there's going to be a slide. But I could see him somewhere in the 20 to 25 range by the end of the season. I mean, he's going to be the best fantasy option on the Knicks. I feel like I can say that confidently.
He was the best fantasy option on the Knicks last year as well.
Exactly.
I've got Tobias Harris at 22. I don't think he'll stay 25. He's a fraud.
He's a fraud.
He's having some good games, but there's no way. I mean, you've got people like James Harden not even in the top 25, so he'll get into the top 25. There'll definitely be some people who fall out, and I think Tobias Harris is not going to last, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, what Tobias has going for him is that he usually just plays. He doesn't sit.
Right.
He's always been a little streaky, though, where his ceiling is close to where he is now, and his floor is more around 55, 60. So, I don't know. He could go somewhere in between.
I'm sitting looking at Brogdon here at 14, and I believe he is number 24 right now in fantasy points per game. That I don't think can continue on a team like Sabonis and Oladipo. But he's playing really well right now.
Yeah, he's shooting incredible numbers as far as his efficiency, and also extremely low turnovers. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Mm-hmm. And he's still only rostered in 95% of the leagues. It's kind of crazy.
I don't think Luka plays. Does Luka play back-to-backs? I know he sat.
He's got to play back-to-backs. I think that was just a.
He sat that one for some fluke injury, but I was going to take a hot take on Luka and say I'm not confident he'll be in the top 25 at the end of the year.
Wow.
Even though he was so dominant last year, I think he was top 3 last year. He doesn't have the best athleticism, and I don't know if he can withstand another season without having an injury. It's sitting for a month or so.
Yeah, he tends to miss little stretches of games here and there. He's not a guy who sits back-to-backs because he gets little injuries here and there that cause him to miss 2 or 3 games. So I could see his numbers kind of falling because of that if we're talking total fantasy points. And he had this slow start, but he's starting to look like he's turning things around.
Someone up here on this top 25 is going to have a catastrophic injury. Hate to say it, but one of these names is going to go down. And I would say Luka, with his poor sort of athleticism, I'm not confident.
What do you think, Visionary? Who's gonna
go down?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty easy to say Brogdon, given that man is never healthy. But yeah, I mean, Brogdon's one of those people who are like, oh, I want to pick him first 3 rounds, and then he actually falls to like the 5th or the 6th round because he's just out half the season.
You would pick Brogdon first 3 rounds?
No, I said he's one of the guys that you think you should pick first 3 rounds for his average points. But when it comes to total points, he's injured so many times throughout the season, or at least the past few seasons, that he falls to rounds 5 or 6.
Hey, now
I mean, he did the same thing last year. He was popping off at the beginning of last year, and then he slowly fell back farther and farther and farther. Further and further and further.
Hey, now that's like one of Duncan's best players.
That is.
Ooh. Ooh.
Trashing him too.
Yeah,
That is.
actually,
We can't let Brogdon be the one because that would just be too big of a blow. I think Duncan may have already won his one and only win of the season.
Oh, you think he's that bad?
I think that as it stands right now, I mean, Kemba better come back strong. I mean, I think he could beat Joel. Other than that, I don't know who else is really like.
No, this year it's extremely competitive. I feel like every team is stacked, and every team I go up against, I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to pull this off?
Yep.
Yeah,
My
the
team
waiver
would be
wire
in
is dog shit too.
Yeah, the waiver wire is so shit right now,
Like
dude.
everybody's
oh my
taking wavering seriously, so it's like people are constantly yellow.
God. The
Yeah.
waiver wire is bad.
Yeah,
It's a struggle.
but
Can we reduce that wave time, or where they're sitting with yellow?
I'm pretty sure that's the fastest.
Yeah, it's
They
like
can
it's
be.
basically one day. I mean,
Yeah,
it's basically one day.
Feels like an eternity.
right. I was
I'm
actually
looking-
concerned about somebody else trying to pick up Whiteside.
Dude, what are you talking about? The man will not get over 15 minutes a game. Do not.
Yeah, but
trigger me.
have you seen all this drama surrounding Marvin Bagley's dad, and now De'Aaron Fox's dad is like in the mix? Like,
Whoa, what about
there's gonna
De'Aaron
be some-
Fox's dad?
yeah, De'Aaron Fox's dad was saying they should trade Bagley too.
Oh,
Like, so there's just like more shit going on around it, and I know people are criticizing Luke a bunch, so maybe the organization.
Josh. I had him, and it's literally just down to this: is he going to be getting over 20 minutes a game? And the answer is no, unless an injury happens. And even with that, isn't Halliburton already injured? Like even with that, he's still not getting playing time. The only reason why he had 17 fantasy points last night was because he had 3 blocks in like 7 minutes, which is not something he's going to do all the time.
No, it's not.
This is what I think, Josh. I think you're going to end up dropping him either this week or next week because nobody can afford to hold him with the way he's playing. He literally had 0 and then -1 last week.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I do. I feel like, and I saw this on the app the other day. I was looking at the comments on Whiteside's page, and somebody was referring to him as lightning in a bottle. And if he could just get like you said, like 20 minutes of playing time, I feel like he could average like 25 to 30 pretty easily with the way he blocks and gets boards.
If you're going by the comments on the Yahoo app, you have 0 hope.
No,
You lost already.
Have you read those comments?
I have.
They're like-
But the
they're like-
way I see it is, I have a pretty good team as far as the rest of the league goes. So if I can take a risk on somebody who could become like a 25 to 30 average, I'm gonna take that risk. That way, I'm a better set for the end of the season. Like I think I'm gonna get into playoffs, no problem, even if I've got Whiteside on my bench.
I feel like the comments on Yahoo have gotten worse. I read
They're
one
so
for Victor
bad.
Oladipo. It was like big, bold letters, and it said, trade him while he's still performing. I was like, what? Oladipo? This is terrible advice.
I'd be an Indiana fan who's just like so disgruntled with Oladipo, though. Like I picked him first round in 2018, and he was awful and was injured, and I eventually traded him to Joel. But yeah, he was a letdown for sure.
I will say moves like what Josh did picking Whiteside up, those are the kind of moves, like it's kind of what Shaq Moves did during his championship season. Those are the moves that'll win championships, but it's way too early in the season to be taking those risks. Like you do that when you have a 12-1 record, and you can afford to do that. But I mean, we'll see.
I'm happy to see Josh just keep Whiteside for 2 more weeks and then lose both matchups. I don't know who you play next week. You're going to lose this week's matchup because you're keeping him, but I mean, if you want to hold him just to prove me wrong, I'm fine with that. It'd be fun to watch you lose a few matchups.
Thanks. No, it's fine. So yeah,
that's fine.
next week I have Johnny.
Yeah.
So I have Johnny next week, and then I go into Duncan, Joel. So that's 2 pretty. I feel like they're free wins at this point, just the way their teams are. And then I play Nick, and then I play Tamer. So it's like 3 wins. And 3 losses if I do lose all 3 of those. because of having Hassan Whiteside.
So you think your
So-
schedule allows for you to take this risk at this moment?
Definitely. I feel like there's plenty of time.
Yeah, I think that's smart. If you have easy matchups coming up, take a couple of risks.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
He's
I'm
a
gonna be
man.
I'm gonna be honest though. Like, okay, Whiteside had 12 minutes last night, and I don't think he's gonna get over 15 a game on average. But also, Marvin Bagley looks just terrible.
No,
I
he
don't know what
doesn't.
that team's doing. There's actually
Marvin
one.
Bagley does not look terrible.
What,
He
looks
just
terrible,
doesn't look
dude.
great. No, he's mediocre.
Yeah, there's a comment on the Yahoo app that I actually liked. It's like Luke Walton is trying to play the same style as his Golden State days, but with way worse players.
Yeah. I've seen Darren Fox take more threes, and he can actually make them this year.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, everybody thought Golden State was going to be absolutely terrible, and they've really come back these past few games. It's pretty early to tell. But also that Whiteside chat, if you go on it, it's like a mixture of comments of everybody's so stupid for dropping him. He's the greatest player ever. Like, just wait. And this guy is so bad. He's a bum. Drop him. He's not getting minutes. It's literally just the most polarized comment section I've ever seen. And I was just frequenting it the first 2 weeks because I was like, oh, there's got to be something. He's got to come back. He was my 4th pick. I mean, that is the worst pick of the draft. He's
Yeah.
retiring.
I don't know. Devin Booker.
Oh,
No, Tyler Hero.
Devin Booker. Oh yeah. True.
Wait.
That'll be fine.
I think we'll hear more about that. I think we'll hear more about that later.
Yeah, when should we talk about the
here's
trade?
here's what I'll say about the Whiteside chat is all those people in there that are saying just wait, just give him time are hoping and praying every night before they go to bed that he will turn it around. Luke Walton will suddenly be fired. So I
Dude, that's what I was doing, and then after that 0 and then -1 game, literally I only won last week by 20 points. I was literally just like, yo, I can't have this guy. I got to cut my losses. I don't know why you ranked me number 1 in the power rankings. I just didn't feel like I was worthy.
The system
I think
did.
Sanders makes the power rankings, doesn't he?
No,
The
it's
computer.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right,
Johnny and
then
Chase are
I'll
tied.
Oh wow.
I'll take it.
So that used to be just an opinion thing, right? But it's not anymore.
It's been computerized for a couple of years now.
It was Sanders for a little while, and then it turned computerized when I thought Sanders was doing a terrible job.
Oh.
And
Dude, is Van Vleet in the top
Yeah.
25? Because that man should not be in the top 25.
I don't think he is.
Van Vleet is number 25 in FPG, fantasy point per game ranking. And I mean, he's kind of a top 25 player, best player on the
And
Raptors.
the Raptors are 1-5, and they just need to play Boucher a bit more. My man.
Pretty well.
The real question is, where is Anthony Davis? He's nowhere to be seen in either
Did he
list.
miss
of
a few
top
games?
25.
Did he
Yeah,
miss
but
a
still,
few?
he's not even top 25 in FPG.
I don't know, man.
Neither is Kawhi Leonard.
Oh. No, he's number 10 in average.
Oh, you're looking at average now. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's just hitting back-to-backs.
Right.
But that's exactly what I expected out of him, so it's all right. But yeah, Anthony Davis needs to bring it back somehow because there's no way that the end of the season comes and Anthony Davis is not top 25.
Do everything you can to buy Anthony Davis right now in your leagues.
Agreed. I've done everything I could to try and buy D'Angelo Russell,
Me
and I
too.
can't get him.
Me too. He wants a 1-for-1 for power forward center.
Yep, he told me the same thing.
Yep.
Oh
I've
shit.
tried.
I've got
I
some-
haven't
I've got
tried
some power
Anthony
forward
Davis
centers.
yet, but I figured.
Would
the
he
whole-
do Larry Nance? Larry
Probably.
Nance?
Probably.
He might,
Probably.
D'Lo's a
Is he
buy
on
low.
Lucas' team?
Send it now
Yeah.
before this gets released, Chase. Send it.
Yeah,
now.
get it on the
Send
pod.
it now.
Is he on Lucas' team?
It's on Luca's
No.
team, dude. You could easily
Yeah.
play D'Angelo Russell for Larry Nance. I bet you could do it.
Why is he so low on D-Low right now?
He's V low on D-Lo.
I do love me some Nance right now, but I do think his usage is going to take a hit. But I do love me some Nance right
Yeah,
now.
Send that trade.
Yeah, I also think Nance is a solid hold, just given. I honestly don't think Love. I think Love is going to miss like 50% of the games this year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm
Is Dra-
basically just holding him in my injury slot until something bad happens. On
I
the
mean,
team.
Josh thinks he could. Josh, you think you could hold everybody? Love Whiteside, and then you realize your record's like 1-10, and then you wonder.
and then it's too late.
You wonder where to go.
He's in my
where it went wrong
injury
again.
spot. I have no one else injured. What do you want me to do with him? Just drop him?
Hey,
No, I wouldn't drop him. No, you're doing the right thing. I'm just fucking with you.
Clifford's experienced 1 in 10 before, and he doesn't want to go back there. He
No, I
knows that.
don't. I know that feeling. Actually, do I know that feeling?
No, you didn't care that year.
I didn't feel the pit of despair.
We told you next year you were 1 in 10.
We were like, hey, you realized you were like 1 in 19 last year, right?
Guys, I think that's just regular season. If we count the playoffs, I was actually 2.
Hey, you got a big old dub in the playoffs. You did.
Yeah, that's right.
You prevented
So
from coming in last
Don't
place.
forget about that. Don't forget about that. That's actually my only playoff win. So you're saying that Luka wants a power forward or center?
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
Okay.
Yeah, you can buy it. Someone worth
Just send,
30.
just send my trade.
Offer him Kevin Love. Offer him Kevin Love and
Just
Whiteside.
send my trade.
Offer him Whiteside and Kevin Love.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah,
That
I'll
shouldn't
see
be
if he
allowed,
bites.
bro.
This could be a huge return for you.
Your team's already good enough, Josh. I don't want to. I don't know. You could give him Jared Allen even.
Yeah. Jared Allen for D'Angelo Russell right now, 1 for 1 would be pretty good.
Wow, you guys are so in tune with fantasy because that's the trade I sent.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe you're in
Yeah.
tune with fantasy. I really hope he accepts one of these deals tonight and the council approves it. And then tomorrow when he listens to this, he's like,
I'm not gonna. I don't want the trade to process until after the 7th, and I don't think he's eager for anything to process. So.
should we do the premiere?
You already know what time it is. Time for the 4-point play.
Wait, what? Wait, is this Patrick Dribbles on?
No, the 4-point play is our name for the short
Just like shorts.
mini productions, and this is a different one.
And now, a 4-point play world premiere.
It was opening night of our league's draft, December 7th, 2020. A cold winter night spent running through last year's stats and this year's storylines to find the perfect pair to lead my team. A glass of bourbon on the rocks next to me. Perhaps I had poured it a little strong. Then I saw it. Devin Booker. 10th last year in total points scored, still young and getting better every year. But surely with the 8th pick this would be too early with guys like Curry and Lillard still available. So I traded down. Acquiring Booker and Bam Adebayo for Steph and Beal. I felt good. Bam had been 8th in total points earned last year. Chris Paul was joining the Suns. This could only boost Booker and make him that much better playing alongside a Hall of Fame point guard, right? The Suns would be competing to make playoffs for the first time in years. Booker would be giving it his all. I couldn't have foreseen what was to come. The season began. Booker plays alright opening night, but has 8 turnovers. The Suns win. I brushed it off. He will get back on track next game. Wrong. 7 turnovers and a loss. As games went on, the Suns would keep winning, but Booker continued to not produce his expected fantasy value. Then disaster. 22 points from Booker, but only 19.4 fantasy points. 8 more turnovers. In all my time, I had never seen such a mess. What could I have missed? Was there any way this could have been avoided? I had to get to the bottom of this. I booted up my trusted laptop and got to work. I sorted through pages and pages of stats on Basketball Reference. Ran through all the top fantasy projections for this season. It seems I wasn't the only one who had been hoodwinked. I reached over to pour myself another glass, but I had emptied the bottle during my research. It was right there in front of my eyes the whole time. Chris Paul. Was he an angel sent down from the heavens to help bring the Suns to the playoffs? Or was he a demon sent by Satan himself to ruin my fantasy team? You see, in my research I found the answer. Chris Paul was never about making Booker better, no. It was about making everyone else around them better. Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, Frank the Tank Kaminsky. How could I have missed this before? Was I so blinded by bias of these Kentucky guys that I overlooked the obvious? I had to act quick. Trade Booker for near last year's value before it was too late. By the release of these tapes and upon my league hearing it, I'm afraid it may be too late for me to do so. But that doesn't mean it will be for you.
What a sad story.
Wow.
Yeah. You sounded like the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life narrator. That's what I thought about for him.
Oh man. Hey, I'll make a trade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Hold on, let me look.
What's Booker worth to you, Matt?
40 points. 40.
Yeah.
40?
40.
He's averaging 31.
But he was 40 last year, and he'll get back to it. When Chris Paul gets hurt, hey,
Dude.
think about Chris Paul's injury history now.
No.
Damn. I absolutely got away with that trade. Beal and Curry are both averaging like 48 right now.
I knew it would be a bad
Oh.
trade. I didn't think it would be this bad.
When you offered that to me, I was like, seriously? Yeah. No, I love Curry. I was like,
We made the deal before Chase picked his second pick. I was like, pick Bam for me, okay? And then you'll pick whoever you want at my
Yeah.
next pick. And he's like,
we had to hope that I had to hope that Duncan wouldn't pick Bam because the trade was off if he picked Bam, and I would have been stuck with Booker and whoever I picked second, which probably would have been Beal at that point.
Bam's looking better than Booker, just all around. I mean, especially the games that Jimmy Butler doesn't play, Bam is a superstar.
When is Butler coming back? He's been out for so long.
He played last night. He played well.
Oh, he did?
He had like
All
33 fantasy points.
Good. I think he's on Duncan's team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
It's good
All
for
right,
Duncan.
good. He needs some hope, yeah.
Hey, not to cut into the podcast, but Matt, would you accept Terry Rozier for Devin Booker?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Jesus, Josh, is that even serious? Come on, bro.
I mean, he's averaging more points than Booker is.
Yeah, but he's going on a downhill slide. He had a couple good games.
It sounds like an offer Matt would make.
Mm.
Matt always
Downhill
offers.
slide. He just had a 42.9 game 2 games ago.
That sounds like an offer the Shaq moves would make. Talk about a team that's impossible to trade with. Shaq.
Matt always offers the players he's about to drop for like your mediocre players.
I offered Schroeder for Noel at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I'm looking back at Matt's last like 5 drops, and pretty much all of them he offered to me right before he dropped them. That's so trash.
Sell high, buy low.
How can I ever trust you again after that?
Dude, I've been doing that for years. It's because I'm good at the waiver wire. I got Keldon Johnson off the waiver wire. I got Cantor off the waiver wire. I got Batum off the waiver
You're gonna
wire.
drop-
All guys
you're
who
gonna
have
drop-
been on my team since the
You're going to
beginning.
drop 2 of those 3. Keldon is the only one that you picked up that might have a good
No,
overall
I haven't
season.
dropped Cantor or
Accurate.
Batum for a while. It's the Hill.
You just picked up Cantor again. You dropped him like 2 days ago.
Exactly, and I did the same thing with Hill, and I picked them up.
Cool. You could keep picking up the people you drop. That's fine. But don't act like you own them.
They're good pieces. You all just don't see what I
Clifford,
see.
Josh might come and pick them up just to say he has them.
Yeah, I might just pick him up just to hold him for a couple weeks until I lose a few games.
Let's talk about this Porzingis for Ben Simmons trade.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I remember Nick texted me and he sent me a screenshot of the trade and he was like, "This is good for me."
It's definitely good for him. Like, what is? I don't understand that. I know Sanders' thinking was, oh, I have Jaw injured, I have Cat injured. If I get Porzingis, then he'll come back. They'll all come back at the same time. My team will be amazing.
Yeah,
But like Ben Simmons is going to average at least as much as Porzingis and not sit games anyways. It
Right.
just doesn't make any sense to me.
and if Sanders hadn't done that, he probably would have won last week. Like, he took an L for no reason. He would have been fine.
Yeah, and
he
it
doesn't
al-
need
yeah,
to
that's
also-
take on a bunch of
also-
injured players.
I think it was probably just a joke.
Well,
Let's reverse it. It was a joke.
Yeah, give it back to him.
I saw the satire.
Thank you.
the question is, does Sanders want to win a championship or does he want to win league hospital for the 4th straight year? I'm starting to wonder where his priorities lie.
Yeah, he could have just realized that his season was over based on his draft and
No,
was
just like
like, How can I acquire the most injuries to maintain my record?
Why? This is the least prestigious award ever. The hospital award. Your team got straight wrecked. Who would go for that? Like, oh, I got unlucky. I got an excuse. Give me this award.
I think you can be proud of that.
I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's better than like, is it better? Is winning the league hospital 4 years in a row? Is that better than like not making the playoffs, but like winning some more games?
Oh, it's better than not making the playoffs. At least you have something to lean on. But It's not better than making the playoffs. He offered me Jerami Grant and Miles Turner for Dennis Schroeder after the first night of games. I guess it would be technically the second, but the first night of all the major games. And the fact that I did not take that trade is haunting me to this day.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have Jerami Grant. I think he's gonna be great all season.
Awesome.
I know.
I wish I picked him over Blake Griffin 6th round.
I knew when I knew it.
Like 7th
Remember when we
round.
joked about Duncan picking him 4th?
Yeah.
I think
we joked about that.
Yeah,
because we asked him a Kevin Knox question, and he said Jerami Grant.
And
It turned out to be genius.
It was genius, and maybe we psyched him out, and that's what happens when you don't.
And he chose Tyler Hero instead.
Yeah.
No, the problem is he started listening to Clifford for the rest of his picks instead of trusting his gut, which told him Jerami Grant.
Oh no!
And now we have a free win in the league. Thank you, Josh Clifford.
Oh my gosh!
I feel like my trade that was vetoed with Matt was one of the most ingenious trades in league history. It included an overnight lending of a player, still just for one part of the trade, while the rest of it was something we wanted. And I feel like that's smart because it gives him what he wants, which is more points in that week. It gives me what I want, which is more points in the long run. And I feel like we need more of that in this league.
I don't think we need more of that.
I don't think we can do loaners just for the benefit of like week to week. If you were to like trade straight up so that you could have more games in the week and it wasn't like you got, whatever you needed back or whatever, it'd be a totally different scenario.
Yeah, that was pretty frustrating when Nick got Simmons and I thought he was going to win last week because he literally got an extra like 40 points off the trade.
Yeah.
But I feel like the loaner is still fair because other teams can try and make trades for loaners too.
No, I'm totally against loaners. That trade, I guess there was like a little loaner thing. It was a little waiver guy who would have got me like 15 extra points and wouldn't have mattered. But
it was Eric Gordon.
Yeah, no, it was Garrett Temple was the loaner.
Oh yeah.
I'm good for conditional trades. I think that's totally fine, and let the council decide whether the conditional trade is fair or not. The loaning aspect of it was more of just to make the trade work. It wasn't really let me get 15 extra points.
Yeah, I understand. I actually did like it originally. Like before Ben even brought up the points about like the loaning and like where do we draw the line? I was liking it because I felt like it was almost like a little risk reward type situation. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
we don't know the second half of the season schedule yet. I don't think. Yeah. Which, when that releases, oh man, unleash the trades as people try and set up for
playoff week games.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that the schedule's not out because otherwise people will do it like right now and it's way too early to do it.
Yeah, you can buy a playoff team early if you get off to a good 4-0 start or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best way to play is win early and then you could waiver and I think winning early is very helpful for later in the season.
It sets you up for the rest of the season if you get early wins. It helps so much.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's it for the 4-Point Shot this week. Thanks for listening, and please consider subscribing for more content. Good luck in your league. May the injury gods be ever in your favor.
That should be the intro.
Fantasy just got sexy.